Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Dali.
Welcome back.
We're officially kicking off season 2 of Fing Talks. And this season is going to be packed. We've got guests, we've got industry experts, and all the tea that we possibly can spill. Of course, you're stuck with yours truly and my beautiful co-host, Dalila. Speaking of which, hey, how was your Christmas break? Did you get some rest? Did you...
Way too much food,
Okay,
honestly.
fair enough.
Too little sleep, but I'm glad to be back. I actually needed to be back, so it's great.
It's fair enough. I'll be honest, I'm actually pretty happy that the holiday period is over. Me, myself, I'm more of a spring, summer girl, so I need the sun, I need the flowery breeze. I need that kind of vibe in my life. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but anyway. But, enough about weather, because we're not a weather channel. I'd say we're ready to kick things off, so let's jingle.
Nadya and Dalila tech talk that rocks. Okay, so let's dive into season 2 right now. So I think, as you all know, tech experts, and actually those one that are actually interested, a lot of things have been happening in the tech world at the moment. So we're just going to start this season with, talking about those top 5 things that happened in the last few weeks. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I actually love that idea. Kind of like a mini news
channel,
yeah, exactly. So, but less formal, definitely. So obviously, everything is just AI right now. And I walked into January feeling like, well, where am I? And where's AI? I know, don't worry about it.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. So 2024 was like, AI is coming. 2025, it was, AI is here. It's in the present. So I'm kind of curious, what's going to happen in 2026. And personally, I hope that 2026 is going to be the year in which AI gets a little bit of those rules and a little bit of those regulations.
Yeah.
So speaking of regulations and rules, I'd say you mentioned, let's kind of like do a recap of the latest news. So one thing that comes to mind is the whole Grok gate, right? It's giving super weird vibes and not in a good way. So apparently Grok had a glitch.
Yeah, right. A glitch. That's what you call it. Right?
Yeah, exactly, right? So the thing that happened was that users at some point, they realized that they could undress pictures of real people. So they would ask Grok to either show someone in bikini or, partially uncovered or fully uncovered. And they'd upload a photo, give a prompt, and boom. And then they would share it on X. So, this comes to mind when speaking of regulations regarding AI because Grok is a chatbot that basically doesn't respect any kind of these kind of regulations, right? So, for example, the response of certain governments were different. Like the Philippines blocked 100% altogether Grok. California and other states in the US, they kind of said like, hey, Musk, please, could you ask Grok not to?
Please?
Yeah, well, not please, but I mean, they were kind of like, you gotta stop this, right? And so, Elon Musk, at some point, he officially tweeted, okay, so this feature is not going to be available for our users. Initially, it was still available for, paying subscribers. And then he said, okay, it's not going to be available for anybody, right? And it seemed that it was that way until a couple of weeks ago, some journalists, some reporters from The Guardian, they tested it out and they were able to, they uploaded a picture of one of their colleagues and they were able
to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They were able to do it. They were able to undress her. So I think, these kind of things, regulations, rules that our society is founded on, it's not in kind of the logic of artificial intelligence.
It's completely dehumanizing.
Yes.
People think that like abuse and violence is just physical. It's not. I mean, because you just have to think that if it's not AI that just out of the blue decides to wake up and start doing this stuff.
Exactly.
It's a person, it's a human that gives prompts. So it's really out of order. And honestly, where's the world going? Because in my opinion, I wrote some stuff. I really have some opinions on how things should go. First thing, what you said is, why would you train AI at all to just have this sexual concept of sexualizing people? Like, why would you do that? So that's the first thing that, I mean, okay, AI has access to the web, it has all the data a person has and whatever, but there has to be a limit. It can't just go overboard at all. Second thing, I think that we need facial recognition.
Whoa.
Yeah, because like when you're prompting someone about someone else, you like before the prompt just goes and start, you like AI should be asking about facial recognition about you person who is prompting, not the person you are prompting of.
So you think there should be the facial recognition?
If I'm prompting about you, I should get the facial recognition.
Okay. It's really curious how the verb prompting is now being associated to artificial intelligence. Yeah. So wait. So I'm sorry. I got distracted. So if you're writing a prompt about me, so right, hey, like, take off Nadia's clothes or something like that, there should be facial recognition of you or of me.
No, because I'm prompting the stuff that is gross.
Okay, so your face should be recognized, and then...
Yeah, because then, in the exact moment in which you're going to prompt about something that is nasty, like this stuff, in automatic, your location and your name, all your data is going to go straight to the police, and you're gonna get fined or go in jail. I don't care, and don't start talking about privacy, people, because here you're just violating someone else's privacy by prompting this stuff.
So you're in a very lawmaker mood.
I'm sorry.
No.
Those are my opinions.
No, definitely. You're entitled. I think that's why it's good to have these kind of conversations. But so personally, I wouldn't feel okay with sharing my location with law enforcement. And I think I agree with the fact that you're saying, you're violating someone else's privacy. I definitely agree on that. And you're doing that without an explicit consent from that person, right? But I don't think that more violation of someone else's privacy can solve.
No, of course, it's not going to solve anything.
No, it's not going to solve, definitely, but it's not even going to, at the end of the day, if someone wants to do something, they'll always find the means to do that, right? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, if I wanted to get away with something and I couldn't go out, I would sneak out. If I couldn't, if I would have been grounded and my dad would take my phone away, I would ask my brothers. So I would always find a way to do that. So the same thing is with the internet, the concept of that. If you put more security and more control, people are going to self-regulate themselves. I think people are just going to go in the opposite direction. So because, as you mentioned, AI, it's not AI that is doing this, it's someone behind it that is getting the prompt, right? So we're all very different people and we all have different approaches to life and with different education, different backgrounds, and also different perspectives on things. Because I think there's a lot of people that are going to say, you know what, I don't care. If I find your picture on Instagram, why can't I do something with it? Which is also another issue, I think, because, it's true that everything that is online is public domain, right? So once you put something online, an Insta story or your picture on LinkedIn or whatever, that does become 100% public domain, and you kind of waive your right to privacy there. But one thing is to see someone else's picture. Another thing is manipulating it. That is completely different. You don't have consent to actually take my identity and do something with that. And that's why you need regulations. That's why you need actual laws that manage digital identities of people. And coming to AI, for example, there has to be mandatory something that explicitly says that it's AI.
I mean, in the exact moment, I think also in which you're starting a prompt, it has to be AI that says we're not going to do this prompt.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's the thing. So
it's going to stop with every kind of other thing that you're trying to do about this kind of stuff. It's just going to say, I'm sorry, it goes against our rules, so I'm not going to do it. But it doesn't have to be of just one kind of, I mean, it's not just doesn't have to be just ChatGPT. It has to be Gemini and everything else.
Of course. No, I totally agree with that.
But So moving on, staying but still within the realm of AI, did you see that ChatGPT is starting to put ads?
I did actually. I was reading about it at lunch. But I saw that it was like testing first, like with the US subscribers.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you're a pro or like a business kind of account, you're ad free. So basically, it's just for those who don't have another of the other subscriptions. Basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
But what do you think about it?
I think this is kind of, I think it's the new normal, right? Say for example, streaming platforms. I go out of my mind. It drives me insane when I'm watching like a movie or a TV series on Amazon Prime.
Oh God, always.
And then there's those mid-movie ads, and basically if you don't want to see them, you just gotta pay more, which for me is so...
I don't want to give you money.
It's not that I don't want to give you money.
I gave you too much
exactly.
already.
It's like I'm already paying the subscription, right? Why should I pay more? And I think like this is the new normal. Like we're actually becoming more and more used to paying more money for a hassle-free experience. So for me, it's really interesting because when I was a kid, for example, even you, when we were younger and we would watch television before the advent of streaming platforms, there would be a commercial like every 15 minutes. And we were used to that. Like we couldn't skip it. Those were kind of like movie night breaks. You would go to the bathroom, you would go have, smoke a cigarette, you would like have a chat.
The beauty of streaming platforms was exactly that. We didn't have
exactly
ads, and now they're putting them again.
We didn't have ads. We still have the opportunity like to skip the intro.
Yeah.
Which also changed our it didn't change, but it impacted our attention span. I was watching a movie the other day with Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, The Hustle, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I liked it a lot. And it had a super long intro. It had a super long beginning with like the head titles, but it was also really nice because it was all illustrated animations, but it was super long. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, I'm gonna go and skip it. And then I was like, no, I don't want to skip it. I don't want to cave into that, very modern necessity of saving time that I'm then just gonna waste watching a movie, right? There's kind of like a weird logic about it. But with the so it was like streaming spoiled us. Yeah. Basically, we went from being used to having every 15 minutes a commercial break to not having anything interfere with us while we would binge watch something, and now they're introducing it exactly. So that's kind of, our hassle-free time is a little bit held for ransom, and that drives me really insane. So I'm really curious on how that's going to work with ChatGPT. Like, is it going to interrupt my train of thought? Is it going to block or pause me while I'm working with it? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I think the actual question that we have to ask ourselves is it going to be completely AI'd, or is it going to be like a human that did it, but with it AI?
So wait,
like a human just prompted and said, okay, I'm going to make this and that. Like, I didn't know, like, if you saw like the latest Olympic Games commercial on TV.
No,
it's entirely AI.
Giochi olimpici invernali Milano Cortina 2026 sui canali Rai. Dal 6 al 22 febbraio l'inverno si infiamma.
Did you see Mercy? It just came out like last week.
No,
I saw it.
I haven't.
It's really cool. It's also very intense. So for those...
Did you watch it?
I did.
Oh, really?
It was so good. It also kind of scary, honestly. But so for those who don't know Mercy, It's basically like a movie where the legal system is run by AI.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so basically, like you have like 90 minutes to try to prove to AI that you're not guilty, basically. But so like because the judge is AI. So you have, and the fact is that AI, when it has to judge you, relies on every kind of, video, dash cam, phone, tablet, anything where you appear, because maybe there is like facial recognition or something.
I got this. We're 1196 on that possible hit and run SUV. Officer down! Stay with me, Ray!
LAPD, stay where you are!
We got a runner! Go, 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 go! My name is Detective Christopher Raven. We live in a world where murderers walk free, in a justice system bogged down by red tape and human error. That all ends with mercy. A judicial system powered by artificial intelligence with access to every camera, cell phone, and database. If you commit a capital crime, you have 90 minutes to prove your innocence to an AI judge, or you will be executed.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court.
Hold on, just wait a second.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
If you are innocent, prove it.
I need us to walk the scene. No, I have something here. We gotta go old school. That's a bomb. Get me out of here!
You're running out of time.
Wow, thank you for that. Bring that back. Pause. Play it again. Can you find out who that is?
Do you want to uncover the truth? Even if the truth is dark.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife?
I think there's more that you're not revealing.
It's pretty intense. So it's a movie for now, but who knows?
I mean, I would watch it, first of all, because like I'm a sucker for good thrillers in general, especially if there's tech. I love that. But the idea of the judiciary system being powered by AI is kind of scary. Like AI is all about patterns. It's all about collecting data and finding then, patterns and numbers and whatever. But it needs to respond to a prompt by making sense of what you're actually asking. Yeah. So it doesn't get, it does get, because AI has been trained, on context, personalities, but it doesn't have that human grasp. It doesn't have real empathy.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Because first of all, privacy is out of the box. Just forget about it. You're not going to have any privacy in this situation.
Because of the surveillance.
Yeah. And second thing is the fact that, like what if you as a person are right there in front of the judge and you're very good at lying? Like you're super good. And even if you're guilty, you're just gonna, you're not gonna be guilty anymore. Or what if the person has, I don't know, some kind of psychological issue, problem, or whatever? I mean, that's AI just is part of the textbook kind of part of thing. So there's where the human part lacks completely.
But I think this also kind of opens an ongoing debate about we don't know where AI can get. But no, the thing is that we don't know what the actual future of AI looks like. We can try and guess. Sorry, I'm yawning a lot. Sorry about that.
Later?
Yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee. We can try and guess, or we can try and set a path to what different different scenarios of the future of AI can look like. And I think the question about this is, do we really believe that artificial intelligence can grasp everything that is human and imitate it at the end of the day? So, for example, when you chat to ChatGPT and it's so understanding and it looks like it recognizes your emotions and it seems that it is empathizing with you, right? I'm not 100% sure that there's the understanding of my emotion on paper. So if I'm asking ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever.
But what about live, right? Like, well, how would it be?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if I asked them, like, okay, so define happiness, or what's happiness for you? How do you feel joy, right? A part of the fact that, like, when we start using the words feel in relation to AI, I'm like, okay, we're off pat. We're off key here. Like, we're not going in the right direction. This is not what we're aiming to do. This is not the goal. We're not trying to humanize artificial intelligence.
I think because we're too used in doing that with other people and asking about their opinion and how they feel about things that it's so normal for us to
That's a good
ask
read.
Something.
That's a good read. I appreciate that, actually. I think that's very human.
Because maybe we're so empathetic, right? Like, we really need to hear the opinion. So when you want to, maybe you rely on a computer because you think it's more reliable than an actual person.
Yes, and this is, I think that's the argument. Like, we're going towards, even in this movie, it's absurd that you as a human being have 90 minutes to prove your innocence.
That's so little.
90, like, if you think about a normal duration of a trial,
it could
right?
last months.
It could last years. I mean, there are trials that, have lasted, like, a bunch, like, super long trials.
You could even sneeze it, say you didn't do that in
exactly,
those videos,
like,
so you're
90 minutes is nothing to actually cover, especially important. Like, we're not talking about a misdemeanor, like, or a C felony or an E felony, whatever. Like, we're talking about serious crimes. So that's pretty impossible. And that's the thing. I think it's very paradoxical that on one hand, we're living in a world where it's very easy to dehumanize someone while we're trying to humanize AI as much as possible.
That's so right.
Right?
That's so true.
So this for me is pretty much, it's I think that's the whole core of everything that we've said.
That's the big issue.
That we've said till now with AI. So, like, you need regulations. You need lawmakers to actually create effective laws. You need to train artificial intelligence for the good of the people. And you don't have to isolate people, because what the human kind of, species, it has evolved because of collectivity. It has evolved because of that human touch. So you can't dehumanize people because you're fed up with them, but you want to replicate that stuff on a machine, right? And while humanizing AI. And so for this movie, while I'm gonna go and watch it definitely, because I think it's, it's interesting. It definitely opens up a lot of questions. I don't think it can make the world better as we know it. We have it's not
going to be all roses and stuff.
No, but, like, when you say, can it make the world better? Actually, no is not the right answer. My answer is, I don't know, because we have an image of what the world is today, right? The paradigm of how our society works, of how our technology works. It advances.
We don't even know what a
in a
safe
future
world
paradigm
is.
Exactly, but in a future, if that paradigm should shift, right? And say, for example, in 20 years, what today was considered evil, tomorrow is considered good, or in relation to AI, it's going to be like, in 20 years, the most essential. Like, we all have iPhones, we all have phones in our pocket. Maybe in 20 years, we're all gonna have, like, an AI companion, whatever, with us. So I don't know if it could make the world better, because maybe in 20 years, people are gonna rely only exclusively on AI. Today, we still have that necessity of relying on someone, not because, and this is why I think there's gonna be a paradigm shift in these terms. We're relying also on human beings and getting a second opinion from AI, because AI is not 100% there yet. When it's going to be there, it's going to be the other way around. Like, we're going to rely 100% on AI, and we're going to go for a second opinion to human beings. Like, for example, I have a cat, and I took the cat to get tests, right? And the vet sent me the results of the tests. So I went on Google, just on the internet, kind of to see if it was all okay. Not even to see if it was okay. I just went and see, okay, so what does this mean? Also, because on the results of the test, the most important information, the fact that he was negative to some kind of, disease, that was there. It was written in print. So that was kind of the main information that I was looking for. I didn't really want to know everything else. My boyfriend, on the other hand, he was like, okay, let's ask Gemini. So he fed our cat's results to Gemini. And he was like, okay, let me see what these
terms mean.
What these terms mean, or what these indicators mean, or whatever. And he got kind of in this rabbit hole, because Gemini, it would continue to ask you, do you want me to explain you in detail? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? And he was like, yes, yes, yes. And I looked at him, and I was a little bit curious about why he would do it, because the next day I had the appointment with the vet where I would get these answers, and he knew that. And I was like, dude, I'm going to the vet tomorrow morning. I'm going to ask. Any kind of question that we have, I'm going to ask. He's like, no, I want to know this now, right? It was 10 in the evening. I want to know this now. So, you can't wait, right? So the patience that we were talking about earlier with the streaming platforms, we don't have that. We don't have the same attention and patience span, rather than attention to patience span. He wanted to know as much as possible, even if it was information constantly repeating itself simply with different words, because it's one test. You're submitting one test results, so it's gonna continue saying the same thing. It's gonna say this means this means that, this means that. At some point, Gemini was like, "Do you want a list of questions to ask the vet?" And I was like, "Dude, don't ask that. We have our way. We have our brain. We have everything that we want to ask."
I also think that maybe in the moment that you are at the vet, maybe the vet says something on the spot, and you're just curious about
exactly
what happens if this is,
exactly
what does that mean?
Exactly. So apply that to a trial of a convict or of a criminal, right? With an AI judge.
We're dead.
You didn't expect the first episode to be like this, I know. With an AI judge, you wouldn't have these interactions. Especially, maybe with an AI judge in general, yes. But when you have, from my understanding, Mercy, you don't have a peer, you don't have a jury of peers. And why does the American system or any judiciary system, the majority of the judiciary systems have a jury of peers to evaluate you? Because you have to be it's not that you have to be, but
there has to be the human part behind it.
There has to be the human part, and it has to be someone that, is like you, meaning is a human being as you.
It has to kind of view for what you're guilty of from a third point of view, right? Because one thing is, I'm really close to that person. So,
of course. You're impartial.
Yeah, you have to be impartial because, for example, in many things, I can have an opinion, Nadya can have another opinion, and you guys can have a completely different opinion. So that's also the reason why the world is beautiful, because it's varied, because we all have different opinions. All
right, so this was the first episode of season 2. We hope you enjoyed it.
We hope we didn't annoy you.
We didn't bore you, hopefully. We're gonna have a bunch of super exciting guests in the next episodes.
Of course, let us know if you actually liked this format. Because of us talking, maybe you can also write your opinions of all the different topics that we talked about.
Share your comments below.
We're so happy to be back, and we hope that you are happy to have us back.
Oh yeah. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Ciao.
Bye.